Hello, everybody, and welcome to our podcast, Welcome to Livingston, where we invite local businesses, people, and organizations in to talk about what they are giving to our community. My name is Don Patella.
And I'm Angela Patella, and we're with the Patella Group Real Estate Professionals. As realtors and brokerage owners, we bring valuable insight into the local market and community every week.
Thanks for listening, and welcome to Livingston. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of our podcast, Welcome to Livingston, where we invite in local businesses, causes, and people that are just doing great things in the community. My name is Don Patella.
And I'm Angela Patella, and we're with the Patella Group Real Estate Professionals.
Yes, and before we get started today, we just wanted to take a quick moment to talk about our sponsor. So today's episode of the Welcome to Livingston podcast is brought to you by our valued sponsor, Jim Paquette with Lake Michigan Credit Union. He is a trusted mortgage lender who has lived and worked in our community for many years. Jim Paquette is dedicated to helping our neighbors achieve their home ownership dreams and is proud to support the local businesses that make our area special.
Great. And this is such a cool topic. I'm really excited about it.
No, we are super excited with this. So we have with us, first off, we're going to be talking about Howell High School's production of Chicago that's coming up, which is just amazing. And today with us, we have Amanda Malo and Jenny Halliday.
Hello, thank you.
Welcome, guys.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yes. And Amanda, you're the drama teacher, and this is kind of new because I know you always do the play, but is it the musical something you haven't? Used to?
I have done the musical, but it's been a long time. The last musical I did at Howell High School was in 2014. I did The Wizard of Oz, and I really loved it. But my daughter was, I think, in kindergarten at that time, and I just realized doing 2 shows a year, I was not doing justice to anyone. You know, I wasn't doing well at home. I wasn't doing well by the kids, all of it. So really phenomenal principal, Jason Schrock. We had a discussion, and I said, I just would like to take a little hiatus and step back. So the last musical I did at Howell was over 10 years ago.
Wow. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So
It must be exciting to be back.
I love it so much. I'm having such a great time. So yeah, it is very exciting. And the kids have been really great, very welcoming. So
Wonderful.
excellent. Seems like really into it too. You know, any of them that are involved and, they're talking about it, outside of school. And because obviously our son goes to school there, has you as a teacher, and is in the production himself.
correct.
So at least that has given us a great perspective of what we're hearing about him and so forth. But in terms of, so if this is the first one to come back to, tell us why you picked Chicago.
Well, I knew coming back, I had to do something big. That was going to be just I couldn't, enter quietly. It had to be dramatic, right?
Yeah.
And so Brendan Close, who was the choir teacher at the time, we were talking about it. And whenever you pick anything, you look at, okay, what's our student body population like right now? And you also look at what have we done in the past and what do we want to do? And we just kind of thought about it. And I've always wanted to do Chicago. But I didn't realize until just recently there was a teen version because I'm not doing the regular version of Chicago at High School.
I kind of wondered.
Yeah, so I looked into that, really loved it. Brendan was gung-ho for it. And the kids, when it was announced, they seemed thrilled. When I did the musical last time, my friend Rebecca's my choreographer. And I said, look, I'm not going back without you. I know how important a choreographer is, and she was on board, and this is her favorite musical also. So, sometimes the stars align.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. And I know I love the way that you guys debut it last year, that you had like the little crossing off the different ones and such.
Correct. We're doing it again. Last year we called it Malo Madness, but we're changing the name because it's not just me. We're so proud of our performing arts department at Howell High School. We call ourselves the K-Wing because that's our room number. And so this year we're calling it the K-Wing Countdown, but countdown will be spelled with a C. And we're going to do it again. Yeah. And it wasn't me. I would love to say I'm that, creative and all, but it's the students. They're like, can we do a reveal? I'm like, sure, why not? Yeah, you thought it was fun. Yeah.
Yes, it was super fun.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And how excited did you get when it got down? I mean,
Well, because for the audience, you should explain.
Oh, yeah.
That it's kind of like a March Madness bracket, right? Where you
Yes.
start off with several different options, and people have their favorites, and
Yes.
They vote on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the discussions you get with the students and like, even the parents, like, Colin would come home. We're like, okay, which ones got crossed off today?
Yeah. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is. So you were asking.
Yeah. So I was going to ask, how excited were you with Chicago? Had you heard of it before?
Yes, I had definitely heard about it before. I hadn't seen the whole show or seen the movie, but I knew of it and I knew the characters, and my friends and I were so excited when we found out that it was to Chicago. I had specifically heard one of the songs, the Cell Block Tango. It's probably one of the most well-known songs in the show, so I was super excited.
Yeah.
Right. And which part do you have?
I play Velma Kelly. It's super exciting. I love her. Yes.
Well, why don't we tell the audience, tell us a little bit about Velma and the character and so forth.
She is a jazz singer, you would say, and she performs with her sister in a sister act at a nightclub.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she ends up, her sister and her husband had an affair, and she finds them and then she kills them, and she ends up in jail. And so you kind of follow the story of her and the other cellmates in jail. Yep.
Gotcha. And this all takes place in the 1920s or something, right?
Yeah. And it really reflects the rise of, we still see it today, the news and the, just looking for what's so dramatic and all that. What's nice about Jenny's role is she has all these iconic songs that we know. Even if you don't know the musical, you know all that jazz.
Yeah.
And Cell Block Tango. He had it coming. So, sorry, I won't sing. I promised I wouldn't. So yeah, it's a very fun role.
Excellent.
Very cool. So, and how big is the cast for this?
We are at 35 cast members, yeah.
So that seems pretty robust. I don't know how that compares to...
I think it's a good size. We love big musicals, but also coming in, I knew that I could not go too big either, just because I hadn't worked with all these different moving parts before. Right. So that is a good, healthy size. I think usually most musicals are 35 to 45, somewhere in there.
Yeah, definitely.
So
perfect.
Yeah.
This is really good. And we should make sure to mention when it is for everybody, which we will have in the show notes and mention later. But that's April 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Yes, at 7 o'clock on Friday and Saturday and 2 o'clock on Sunday. Yep.
Right, over at Howell High School.
Correct.
Which you guys have just a great auditorium. I've helped before with the sets and such. So, it's just a great setup there. You can do so much.
We're very excited. It is. We have a very big house and a good stage, and we're just enjoying filling it and how we can make this kind of a spectacle. And all the, our lights are good, and the costumes. Oh, the costumes are so beautiful. So they kind of have to be to fill that space too.
Right.
So I'm a big fan of our auditorium too.
Makes a difference. And definitely I feel like set and costume are two things that just visually grab people that are so important to make sure that they are top notch.
Yeah. And the costumes, they both help tell the story, but especially in this one, the other female character, Roxy, we kind of see her transition from, not being in this world to becoming a major player in it. And so you can actually see that in her costume changes. So it's kind of neat.
Now, have you seen your costumes yet?
Yes, and I love them. Yeah, because it's set in the 1920s, we have a lot of these flapper dresses that are so pretty and move when you shimmy or anything, they move so pretty, and it's really good.
When the girls put on those dresses, you would think an earthquake, because they're all just sitting there shimmying back. We're not doing anything, but they're making it move. Except for your prison dress. I don't think that's one of your favorites.
No.
Can't glam the prison dress.
Right.
No. But it makes sense in terms of fashion, and this is not really an era that your generation has really done a lot with.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Some of those Gatsby parties are
right.
Those keep
some of
coming
those
back.
people,
Yep.
I think,
Yeah.
But,
No, you're 100 years off from the era, and it's just coming back and you're doing the musical.
Yeah, we're trendsetters.
There you go.
how many hours and weeks and months go into a production of this caliber?
So it usually, I start shows about a year out. And we've already started next year's season. They take a very long time. And so we've been working on Chicago for a year. And then we auditioned in January. And I'd say we do we start off 4 days a week, 2 to 3 hours, in those days. We do one Saturday, but obviously, we're about a month out. So we've really picked it up, and most Saturdays and going until 5:30 or 6. So it takes a lot of work, but it always pays off.
Very
Awesome.
cool.
And I like the music element because I feel like when we had gone to see past productions, maybe they had adult volunteers come in, with a couple instruments to do things. But how many students are in the pit and you're using students now?
It is primarily students. I love a student pit. I mean, we're a school, we're educational. It should be all, we really, by the time the show opens, you'll see me in the audience eating, just eating a candy bar or something because the students run most of it.
Yeah.
A student calls the show, crew is all of it. And so that was definitely something we wanted to get back to, was a pit. And we have Lisa Lachowski, who's been with us 2 or 3 years now. And she was game. She's, she thought it was exciting and a great opportunity for her students. And I think in terms of adults coming in, there's 4 of them. And that's it. I think there's maybe 10 to 12 pit members, if I'm correct.
Great.
So, yeah. And they sound great. Like, I've heard them. I've walked by. And it's so exciting that, it's the one thing that all 3 of us do together, and that's something I missed a lot, because people to collaborate with and blame and all that other stuff.
All that fun. And I do remember that Cullen's freshman years when Lisa came on board. So
Okay,
this would
that
be
was it.
Third
Right.
year.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And she just does an outstanding job.
She really, fits right in. That's probably why I don't remember, because I feel like she's been there forever. So.
For Cullen, it's a bit of a tug of war because he loves band and he loves drama and different things, What's going to show up? You never know.
And I think the choir is hunting him down for next year.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I know he's practicing. He practiced yesterday, so I can tell the difference between when he's just playing the drums and he's practicing a piece.
Yeah.
So he's enjoying it.
That's what was so great too, is seeing the band kids get excited about us doing a musical. I thought that was part of it also.
Right,
So.
you're able to pull a lot more people in this way.
Exactly. And we've really, the 3 of us, we have Mr. Finaro, his first year, and he's just phenomenal. We should call him that, Phenomenal Finaro. And
Like that, yeah.
and so we've really tried to do more things as a department. The 3 of us, like field trips. We try to get the kids out. We go to Stratford in the fall. We went and saw Hadestown in the spring, and just what else can we do to unite us as a department?
Right.
And that it makes all of us stronger. It's not just we only have really great choir, we have really great performing arts.
Yes.
And so that's
Right.
exciting.
Outstanding. And I would say that's absolute strength for Howell schools.
Yes.
The performing arts is phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm biased, but yeah.
So with the students being involved since January, really, when they tried out. So when you tried out, did you have in mind this is the role you wanted to go for, or how did that go with you?
The minute the reveal for what the musical would be came out, I was immediately obsessed with it. You could ask my family. I was repeat playing all the music and watching the movie over and over and over. But yeah, I was really gonna be happy with whatever role I got, but I definitely wanted the role that I got. I love her. Velma Kelly is amazing. Yeah.
How fantastic, though, especially to be passionate about something and work hard and then end up achieving it and then be able to all see you up on stage and hear your great song. Now, which song is your favorite of the ones you sing?
Ooh.
Oh, that's so hard. There's so many good songs in the show, not even that I just sing, but I'd have to say that I sing. I really love All That Jazz, the opening song. It's just so iconic and the music is so great. Yeah.
Cool. It must have been neat to, start watching the movie and then hear the song and then be able to perform it.
Definitely.
Very cool. So, and with you guys getting close and everything, what are you most excited about for the performance coming up?
Oh my gosh. I guess just everyone to see our hard work. We've been working so hard. Everyone in the cast is so committed and passionate and excited to have everyone see the hard work that we've been putting in. I'm excited for my family to see it too, because I've really been talking the show up to everyone. So that'll be really fun.
Awesome. How about you, Amanda? Is there anything that has surprised you or what has been kind of...
Well, what's really great is that it's given me an opportunity to work with kids that I normally would not have worked with.
Yeah.
Jenny is in my class, but this is our first show together because I haven't been doing the musicals, and she swims and all that fun. So she couldn't do the plays. So that has been terrific. And just watching the seniors take leadership and be in things. Like if someone is sick, there's been a couple times I've been looking at this number and going, I didn't think Velma was in this number, but Jenny just shows up to fill in the spots. And them showing the underclassmen, this is what it takes to get a successful show. You show up, you do the work that needs to be done. That's just one of my favorite parts. And I really love, after we open, watching all these kids, crew, pit, all of them go out to the lobby and see their parents and just being proud of the work that they do. There's nothing like it. And they all run out there. Yeah.
All of them glow.
Yeah.
It's so fun to watch as a parent.
And just also as heads up to parents that I know a lot of them like, oh, you're on crew, I don't see you. But they come tearing out looking for it too, and they work so hard. Our crew, they're about to work really hard. So, so I think that is one of my favorite parts, is just getting to sit back and watch them see what they've done, be proud of what they've done. I think that's really exciting.
And it's great that you mentioned the crew, because that's one of those things that don't often get recognized or called out, but that's such an important role.
Yeah.
And in terms of ways for kids to get involved, that sometimes if they try out for a part, maybe they don't get in, to still be part of that production.
Right. And we do, a lot of kids go, I've always wanted to be in a show, but I'm scared. And I'm said, do the crew so you can see what this is like and get the feel for it. And that's where a lot of them start. And some love it and they never leave the crew. And or they get the courage to try to audition. And I always tell them, we all have a first audition. It's scary, but we go through the first one and you survive. So,
and it seems like at least any of the productions Councilman, the camaraderie is so fantastic that there isn't backstabbing. There isn't, the kids do get along and pitch in and help out like that.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. It's such a good community, supportive and just working together. So it's wonderful to see.
Right. I've seen so many students that, like, when they do their first one, be it middle school or beginning of high school, it changes them as a person.
Mm-hmm.
They get so much more out of it than they could have ever thought or anticipated.
Right. Very much so. You've been doing this for a long time, right?
Yeah.
We were just talking about it.
I know. It's like people often say that you get the theater bug. Like once you start doing it, you can't stop. And it's true because it's such a great experience. You make so many friends. You get such amazing experiences. And I feel like almost like performing and being on stage helps you find part of yourself that you might not get to see in life too.
Yeah.
What's up? Fantastic way to say it. and I would agree, in terms of just the confidence you get. And it's something, so for any listeners that have smaller kids, that's something that is worth pursuing and thinking about some of these summer camps, because theater really, does such great things for kids. You probably know firsthand being a drama teacher, right?
Absolutely. And it's such an accepting environment, which is one of my favorite things. There is a place for everyone in the performing arts. And I agree. I think that the theaters, and especially theater camps in Livingston County, are terrific. I live in Washtenaw County, and I have a daughter who got put in almost every theater camp you can find. And our favorite was Community Theater of Howell, hands down, which Jenny has also worked at. So, yeah.
And I know since Colin's done it a long time, and so has our daughter, but I remember running into you and your family. And it's funny, all the circles of so many people in the community that are involved in different ways in theater.
Yeah. And it really, the word community, right now we have a member of our cast whose mom was in a show with me when I was first starting out. And it's, how wonderful is that? Look at that, and she was so excited that her child was in it. And it's just great. It's really great. And the parents on this have been phenomenal. We had a preview night where we invited parents, and every single one showed up for their kid, and you could tell that meant a lot to the kids. So
awesome. Makes a difference.
Yeah.
And to all those people out there that don't have kids in the schools and the high school, you would be amazed at how polished these productions are. They are...
Come check it out.
They are amazing to watch.
Yep.
Such professionalism. You can see the hard work they put in, and it's a great night out.
Mm-hmm. And, the nice thing about the Chicago, the teen edition, is they streamline it. It goes fast. Yeah. The entire, I'm not saying, hey, you'll get out of there, don't worry. But with intermission, It's they just grab you and take you on a ride, and it's 2 hours. That's it.
It's not bad.
It's really song. You know, our choir director looked at me and goes, "Are you going to do anything?" Not really.
You coordinate it all, right?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, how fun though. And I think, and probably the sets were probably fun to put together. And
It's very simple, but we're relying on a lot of lights, which is fun for us. So that's going to be a big part of it that you'll see there too. So we don't want to give too much away.
No.
okay, no worries. A lot of technical background with a lot of it.
Yep.
But to your point, they are very sophisticated and they're
They
great
are.
to watch. So in terms of the general public, people do come out to see these productions because they want to see Chicago. You don't have to have any affiliation with a school or connection to any of the students. If you just want to see Chicago performed, hey, it's right here in your backyard and at Howell High School, and it's worth taking a look at.
I think our first one, so Colin was in Midsummer Night's Dream when he was like in second grade.
Oh,
No,
wait,
no,
12th
not
night.
second.
12th night.
12th night.
12th night.
What
Yes.
was he? Third or fourth grade?
He was in elementary
He was in
Yeah.
elementary.
because Oscar's older brother was in it.
Correct.
And you guys needed
We
some-
needed little boys, two young boys. So
Yes.
Oscar dragged Colin along, I guess.
Yeah, say,
But-
listen,
but
we
we-
never turned back.
we came to that and we were like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, this is impressive. We had no idea that this was right there to come to, because when you don't have kids in the schools or in the high schools,
Or
you
when they're
don't
little
think
like that.
of it.
Yeah. And if you have seen the movie Chicago, I'm going to say again, it is the teen edition.
Okay.
And they did streamline a lot. And you cannot evade the murder aspect of it, but there's like no guns on stage. And as we mentioned, your son is making our gunshot sound.
Right.
Boy, is he excited about it. He's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I get to do this. I get to do that.
And knowing Colin, there are no machine guns, and I'm sure he's going to put one in like. So it really, and the costumes are appropriate. All of that. It is definitely. So if you're like, well,
Family friendly.
family friendly, yeah. But please don't come in and go, there was murder. Well, it is Chicago too. There's only so.
Exactly. I forgot who I mentioned it to. Like, oh, I'm so excited. They're doing Chicago. And they looked at me and they're like, in a high school? Like, how are they going to do that? I'm like, I can't wait to find out.
Yeah. We definitely have been making sure that it's just fine. It's appropriate.
Yep. So, and you've been putting in a ton of time then, huh?
Yes, it's definitely a lot of work, but it's so worth it. I mean, rehearsals aren't even hard because you're there with all your friends and you're having fun while also putting in so much work, and you know that the work is going to pay off once everyone gets to see the show on stage. So it's really fun.
It makes it great. And in terms of, and I know we had touched on the, kind of the crew and the people behind the scenes, but this is a great place to give a shout out, particularly for, any of the adults that, kind of come in and volunteer and get involved. And is there anyone in particular you want to give a shout out to? Or?
I could not narrow it down. I am so, please be comfortable for a moment. And this is besides getting to work with Fanaro and Lachowski and my good friend Rebecca Gim, who's the choreographer, we have Mama D, who has been there since, I think, about 2014. No, lies. Oh, my gosh, so sorry, Becky Dilworth has been with me since 2004. Dawn Eldred has done our costumes. Dee Rosmus, who works at the school, she is the front of the house. And, people just come out. They want to help. And, even a lot of the women that are helping me, they don't have kids in the system, but
Right.
they love to do it. They love to see what the kids do. I could go on and on. I'm trying to think. Can you think? Gwyneth Labine this is great. She's a former student who got her teaching certificate, and she's been helping on every show. She looks at me because the past 2 shows we've done, someone's gotten sick, and she had to go in.
Oh,
So we did Sense and Sensibility, and she went in as one of the roles. The costume fitter, and she was also in Puffs. She had to go in for one day for I think it was just picture day, but she was like, I am not going into this one. You will have to find someone else. So, we don't do it alone. Huh? It's a song. That's a song in Chicago. I can't do it alone. I should make Jenny sing. It's her song. And thank you for letting me mention them, because it's not just me. in any way, shape, or form. So I'm really grateful for the people that I have that work with me. And the parents have brought in snacks. And, I say I need this on a Facebook page and it comes in the next day. And so it is well appreciated when parents do that. So thank you.
So many unsung heroes.
So many. And you're always scared you're going to forget someone. That's what I'm like,
Yeah.
I should have written it down. So,
And anyone else that I haven't mentioned? Because even as simple as, I was talking to Colin's girlfriend's mom, and she's like, oh, I'm going back home because I'm working on some of the crafts and stuff for Chicago. And I'm like, how fun is that?
Easily. Yep. And parents want to help. I also have a teenager. And I think parents like, oh, they're independent and this, but I can just tell you they know, and you might think they don't want you to help. They know that you help though. So I'm so grateful, so great. And they, a lot of times, like you two, will point out something that you guys can do that I can't. And that is what I'm grateful for, that you said, hey, come here, talk to us about it. And I never would have thought about it.
Yeah.
And so there's an example of a parent going, this is my wheelhouse. Let me help you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly. It really takes a village.
A big village.
Right. And in terms of how fun things are, like, is there anything coming up, like in terms of things that are planned with the students?
Oh, let me think.
You can wear your costume during school hours?
Yeah, I was going to say our costume parade is on Wednesday, so that'll be fun to see all the costume come together. We're also doing an assembly at the school. We're going to perform a song for the whole school, so I think it'll be really cool for everyone to just, see the work we put in, because I don't think a lot of students not in the K-Wing at the high school really know, what's going on with the musicals or whatever, so it'll be really cool.
It's really nice, actually. They came and they said, we're looking at doing a spring assembly. We have the fall, which is the big one, and then we do winter, but the spring sports don't get it. And they said, would you come and do a number? And I'm like, absolutely. And once, the kids stopped giving me the deer in headlights look, I think they were pretty excited about it too. And it's the first time that, we have done anything like that. So I'm really excited about it. And one of my favorite things about Howell is just how the schools support each other too. And Cassandra Hull, who is a teacher at Highlander Way, and her kids have gone through the program. We have one right now. She kind of started a drama club at Highlander Way. Oh, wow. And so, it's really great. We've gone over there to help. And there was one drama club. We were like, we have 5 minutes. I'm like, they'll do a number for you. Were you there on that day?
I don't think I was, sadly.
Yeah, and that was great. And then they're going to come, and it's during our tech week. They're going to come and see what that entails, and we're going to do a number for them. So, we really we went to Parker also. Miss Falls brought us in, and we did kind of a night of doing different games and drama stuff. And my kids love to do it. And it's so funny because the middle schoolers could have cared less if I was there. I just need to send them and we're done. So, yeah.
Exactly.
But that is so cool because it gets them excited about it going into it, because you're right. There's so many kids at the high school that sometimes they have no idea what's going on with the departments that they're not involved in.
Right. And I think it's good, like I say to my kids, we need to go there so they can see what's ahead. So that they can see that there's a place for them. Because the high school can be scary. It's big. It's a lot of people. Yeah. But getting, this exists. It's out there. And one other thing I probably should mention, Tom Gould, who does PR, great guy at Howell, we do a senior citizen show. And, we've been doing that for a long time. And so the Thursday, they get to come to our final dress. And, it's kind of nice. It's good for my kids to have an audience before we have an audience. And, we've been getting, the turnout just keeps bigger and bigger for them to come and see it. And they're always very appreciative and kind to our students. So we appreciate that too. So
that's excellent.
Yeah.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it gets so many people involved. And it gives you guys a chance to have an audience, like you said, again. And I'm assuming that the senior citizens and those that come in, they're just so happy to come out to an event and to be able to see it and such.
Yeah.
Especially since this one's been around a little bit, I imagine you might get a even better turnout than normal, right?
He is already, Tom is already, said to us that, can you move it back a little just because we think we're going to get more? They're even, I'm like, you tell me. We are so excited. We'll just make it happen. So, yeah.
Exactly. Makes a big difference.
A big one, yeah.
Cool. And, in terms of, because we talked about these younger students, that's one of the things that's amazing that, someone once told me as my kids were getting into the high school, whether it's band or whether it's drama, those are two communities of students that are so welcoming and so wonderful and so supportive. And I'm sure a lot of the sports too, and, in choir and so forth, but they had called out these two particular ones. And that, hey, especially if you have a quieter kid or a kid that's just not, is good at making friends or whatnot, that these are like kind of an instant group that is a safe zone, that is
very
really
welcoming.
Yes. And that's something that is just so powerful for the teenage years.
Absolutely. I mentioned my daughter before, and so she was also in 12th Night. She was one of the little girls. Her first show was, I did Christmas Carol, and she was 8 months old, and she was baby carried across the stage. She was brilliant. But when she started to get to high school, that's where she went. And she's not going into theater or anything along those lines, but it's a community that she feels really comfortable with. And what's pretty exciting for me is, Wizard of Oz was many years ago, but one of the members of our cast was a Munchkin. And Seb is about to graduate, and they are, it's kind of like the end of an era as I start a new one too. So that's unbelievably exciting, I think. So yeah,
everything comes full circle.
It really does. It goes down the Yellow Brick Road.
Great, good. Well, we want to make sure to mention in terms of how to get tickets and how people can find out more about the production. And
so we have, if you're a social media person, both Facebook and Instagram. It's called HHS Performing Arts. And we use a ticket site called Ludus, Ludus. And they are really great, very user-friendly. Even I can figure it out. And so you could probably, as it gets closer, go on the Howell School's website as well, because they usually put something up for us there. So those are, I think, the main ways to get information about it. So
great.
Right, it's always best to get your tickets early, especially if you have a student in the production or, a grandchild, niece, nephew.
Neighbor,
yes.
Yeah.
But I remember, we're always we'll ask Colin, like, okay, should we be on the left or the right? And he's like, well, my left or your left? So,
he's in the pit.
He's in the pit.
You're not going to see
this
him.
one's not a problem.
No. But just like in general, any of the performances he's been in, that's always been our question, and he never knows the answer. I don't know if you're better at that with your parents.
Yeah, my family's the same way. It's always like, which side? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm all over the place.
Just sit in the middle.
Right?
That's right.
Yeah, it's been pretty exciting for us because I just made the ticket link live, I think, on Thursday, and we've already had a good, healthy sell because people know the show. That's another thing about it.
Right.
They know it. And even if they don't, they do know songs from it. They're like, I don't know Chicago. You start singing all that jazz. Oh, I know that one. Yeah. So
It's one of those ones that builds some excitement right into it.
yeah. So
Exactly. It's fun, and it's kind of spicy.
yeah.
Yes.
It's
Teen
not
edition
boring, right?
spicy.
Yeah, there we go. But at least it's not boring. Right?
Exactly. I can guarantee that. It does not stop. It's nonstop.
It's a fast moving one.
Very.
Yeah.
There's
Which is
really,
good.
it's like couple lines. So
Yeah, it keeps it moving. So yeah.
So do you have everything memorized already? Are you ready to go?
I mean, I'm definitely getting there, but we still have a little bit to go before I'll be memorized. But we are running the first act of the show today, actually, at rehearsal. So I'm super excited. It's all coming together. It's super fun.
Good luck. What has been the most challenging part about?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. It's also fun, but I guess the hardest part is like dancing and also putting that into singing too, because you have to do it at the same time, and then also knowing like what scene is after this. So it's like it's a lot of parts that have to come together, but once you got it, like it'll just come naturally. So
and one of the challenging things is we have a great auditorium and it's used a lot. So we left there in February, I think, and we go back. We finally get it next Monday, and the kids have been stellar. I mean, because we're like in the choir room, now go to the drama room. We're gonna be in the lobby. We're gonna go here. and they just do it. They just go.
Wow. Yeah, we don't even think about it, but you're right. When it's occupied, you can't have it to practice on.
Nope. So, yeah.
Oh goodness. So, but certainly you've been in a lot of productions, and so a lot of those moving parts, you know, kind of built up to this moment, I'm sure.
Yes.
And now, how much of it do you tap into the whole drama side to, like, you know, get in character and stick? 'Cause that's a character that you're playing.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely hard, but it's so fun. Velma is such an interesting character to play. I mean, she's so bold and confident, and I think that playing that is fun for me because I think I'm usually more reserved, at least with like people that I meet and how I talk in real life. So it's fun to get to display that side of myself.
I laugh a couple times. Jenny is just the sweetest thing. She is so nice, so helpful. You know, never says a bad word about anyone. And then she's up there going, until I wash the blood off my hands. And I'm like, Jenny.
Yeah.
So that's what's so exciting is that, you know, it's not who she is. And she's doing a great job with it.
Yeah, because it's playing a part. You know, really is the true core of drama.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, we are super excited to be able to come see this and to see all the hard work you're putting in and to just see the full cast and, you know, remembering all those people behind the scenes that do so much work. You know, the crew puts a ton of time in.
They do.
And then you have a live pit this time as well. So I mean, this is a huge production. People should definitely come out and see it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they're going to enjoy it. There's no way. The cast is so good and the crew is working really hard. And we'll see about that pit.
They are too. They are.
I'm sure the rhythm will be good. I'll say that one. How's that? No, they're going to be phenomenal.
So good. And it's neat in terms of even the parents. You know, one of my friend's Oscar's moms, I wasn't sure if you knew about the signs or not, so I made sure to order one for you for Colin. And like, I didn't have the heart to tell her that we ordered one too. And so I'm like, Colin, you have 2 to pick up. And he comes home with 1. And like, sweetie, he's like, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I think half those signs were pit parents getting for them. And they should be proud of their kids being down there.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And it's great to have the signage and all those little things, like you said, that I'm sure it starts and there's 100 little things that go into getting this all launched and getting the word out.
Yeah. And then we also have spring break. So we come back to Tech Week.
Yes.
So it's, you know, I have faith.
Gives everybody a little break.
Yep.
To be able to reset, right?
Yeah, they'll probably walk in on that Monday and go, what are we doing?
What show is this?
I don't remember the musical. What is it? So
It'll come back to you.
Yeah.
It's all good. Fun. Well, this was so great to sit down today and talk more about it and learn. I didn't even know about the, what is that called? The thing on with the students, for everybody to see.
the assembly.
The assembly.
The assemblies. Yeah.
You'll get there eventually, right?
I know. That's why he's my help me out. I'm like, simple
Sounds
words
like.
sometimes.
Yeah. But that's going to be super exciting.
Yeah.
Are you nervous to be singing in front of
All the students.
I mean, it's definitely a little bit nerve-wracking because, I mean, usually with just the shows, it's mostly families. I mean, it's a lot of other people too, but performing for your peers is totally different, but it'll be super exciting and fun for them to get to see the work that we put into.
Yeah, especially because I came to Jenny and I told her, I was like, and we're doing all that jazz. You're going to be the only one on a mic, but everyone will be singing. And she's just looking at me like, okay. But I'm excited about it because I don't think a lot know what we do. A lot of those students know what we do. And so, yeah, I can't wait.
Yep.
Excellent. Very great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. And we're excited to help get the word out. And it should be a great production.
Thank you so much. So grateful. This has been wonderful.
Yes, it's been so great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So everyone out there, jump online, check them out on Facebook, on Instagram, go to the Howell School's website, get your tickets early. There's 3 chances to see it. So we want to see a full house and get everyone out there for it.
Yeah, and it'll be in the show notes too. So if you're out driving, then know that that's out there and available. So definitely go check it out. Hope we can see you there.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for listening today, and welcome to Livingston.